Thank you. I have a weekly call with my virtual assistant who last week asked me if she needed me to book tickets for Peru. I said, no, I'm going to Ohio, not South America. I don't need any tickets to go to Peru. I'm from Chicago. I drove. I've got little ones, so I count time away from home as costing me how many breakfasts and dinners I missed with the kids. So I literally got up at 2 a.m. this morning, and I'm honored to be here. This is my first time back at an event. I used to give 100 presentations a year. Thank you, Jessica, for bringing everyone together. It's back. We're coming back. I'm really excited to be here. Yes, I'm the co-founder of Orbit Media. It's a web design company. Started 20 years ago. There were just two of us, two guys in a second bedroom with two laptops. And today there's 45 of us now, actually. We're hiring as fast as we can, super busy. So I have been part of the planning process for more than 1,000 websites. And my hope today is to pass along some very technical, specific, practical things you can all hopefully go do right away that will help you get more value from every visitor to your website forever after. A lot of marketing improvements, you have to keep doing them again and again and again. But website improvements, if you can build a more compelling website, you'll get better results from every visitor potentially forever after, right? Because what matters, it's the percentage of people who it's the total number of visitors to a site and then the percentage of those visitors who take action. You can think of it this way. Digital marketing is about building a bridge from a traffic source to a thank you page. That's it, right? That's when demand is generated. Visitor fills out contact form, demand is generated. It's like a chain. And you can strengthen any link in this chain. And if there's one weak link, if there's something broken, it doesn't matter how many visitors come to this website. If they don't take action once they're here, no demand is generated. So my kind of thesis is to start from the end of the process. Before you try harder to build more visitors or rank higher in Google or grow your following or increase your email list, maybe we should take a minute to step back and think about how to make the website itself more compelling, because if you can change the percentage of visitors who take action from 1% to 1.5%, that's equivalent to 50% growth in traffic, right? In the total demand generated. So two things matter: the cheese and the mousetrap. The best cheese in the world doesn't help you if the mousetrap doesn't catch mice, right? So this is about, in my case, often search optimization and then conversion optimization, right? So why don't visitors to websites take action? Why don't visitors to website take action? There's actually lots of research on this, and people in my world, kind of the UX world, obsess over this man. His name is Jacob Nielsen. He's this kind of snarky Danish guy. NNGroup.com, which is where they publish a lot of their research. He's done this since like the 90s, and the findings are basically the same every time. The reason why people do not take action on websites is because there's missing information. The number one problem, the reason why, and there's probably visitors on your website right now, the number one problem on websites is that they fail to answer an important question for that visitor. If we can just make sure that our sites answer these important questions, we are more likely to convert a greater percentage of visitors into leads. That's the conversion rate, the percentage of visitors who take action and donate or buy or subscribe or become a lead or apply for a job or whatever your goals are, right? That visitor who takes action, that's the conversion. So here's my little framework for you. We're going to go through it. They come with questions. Our job is to answer those people's questions, supply evidence to support those answers, and then give them clear, specific, compelling calls to action. Question, answer, evidence, action. So, example. Dave, I could do this for any of you. We literally do this on every project. We build 50 sites a year. I'll do B2B technology. We could do anything. If in a mini workshop, in an hour and a half, we could do this. I could sit at your table and do this with you for your business. I'm just going to choose this guy because I'm giving a presentation, obviously. I've got to do something. Dave is a systems engineer. He buys technology for his financial firm. He was recently hacked. What's the true story in the life of your visitor? There's a true story in the life of every visitor to every web page. What's the true story in the life of your visitor? He's narrowing down his options. That's the decision stage he's in. He's wondering, is this thing cloud-based? I don't like the cloud anymore. Does it integrate with my systems? What are the service level agreements, right? What is our job? It's to show him uptime experience, to get him to schedule a demo. So here's how I'm going to guide Dave through this process and build this website. His question, for example, might be, hey, can I put this behind my firewall? Our answer might be, hey, yeah, you can put it in the cloud or on premises. Either way, up to you. Evidence, other people have done this. Social proof, we're going to provide evidence to support our answers. And then we're going to give him the option, call to action, chat with an expert. Not spending money yet, just chat with an expert. So to walk through this framework and to find out these questions, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it at my company, Orbit Media, on every project by getting people to move over to that goal, adding evidence and clarity, adding answers and clarity, and reducing uncertainty. It's like vector geometry in high school. We got to get that little guy to go over to the goal. That's our job. So we're going to play 20 questions. Question number 1. Hey, Dave, what was going on in your life that sent you looking for help? In other words, take me back. These are the interviews we do with our clients. Take me back to that moment when you first realized you needed help. I'm giving you these slides. Email me. I'll send them to you today. I'm just Andy at Orbit Media. I'm going to make sure you have these slides. I'm going to go through a whole bunch of these questions here. What else did you try, and what didn't you love about it? Alternatives, right? If we don't know that, how can we get Dave to take action? What almost kept you from buying from us? I'm talking to my current clients. What almost kept you from buying from us? In other words, what made you confident enough to give us a try? The best marketers know the answer to these sales questions. They've ridden shotgun at sales meetings. They've listened in on calls. They know what the visitors need. What made us the best option for you? What was the most important thing? Similar question. We'll keep asking the same questions for our clients until we get all this information. What can you do now, or what can you do better that you couldn't do before? I'm going to find the stories, right? I'm going to be publishing these on these web pages. Can you give me an example of when this made a difference for you? I'm going to gather testimonials from current clients. You can imagine the insights we're getting from this. Starting out, what was the biggest challenge you were hoping to solve? If I don't know that, how could I possibly sell to this person? If you couldn't ever work with us again, what would you miss the most? You can just imagine how I'm getting ready. I'm going to be able to make a great page. What was the number one thing that you would tell a friend if you wanted to convince them to use us? You know how insightful these questions are when you talk to your current clients, what you find out? I'm also going to talk to some sales team members. And if you ask a salesperson, like, what do people ask you on sales calls? They won't give you good answers. I've tried this 100 times. But if you ask them, what questions are you just sick and tired of answering? They will give you good answers, right? I'm tired of telling, people keep asking me this. Hey, what should people ask you, but they don't? Do you ever read sales books? The question about books is great. Challenger Sale. Marketers should read sales books. It's very, very helpful. Challenger Sale explains how if you answer some unasked questions, you'll have an advantage in the sales process because you're expanding their thinking on the topic. What aha moment do prospects have in meetings with you? What analogies do you use to explain what we do? What's the biggest number we can get up to in our marketing? Fill in this blank. People can work with us even if they... Now I can address objections, right? How could you sell to someone? How could you get the visitor to take action unless you address their objections? Okay, now I'm going to combine those with some useful psychological triggers that I learned from Joanna Wiebe, Copy Hackers. You know this woman? She's credited with kicking off the whole conversion optimization. Yeah, who knows Joe Wiebe? I'm a huge fan. Wow, really, maybe I get to introduce you guys. Copyhackers.com, incredible content about conversion optimization, landing page authoring, emails. Font's weird. I'll read it. Because. When you use the word because, you trigger a special psychology in the mind of the visitor. We offer on-site installation because not everyone wants their data in the cloud. Should. You should have access to your data from anywhere. Dave's going to start to see himself in this page. The word should, it gives the visitor the feeling that they are exclusively empowered to take an action. Already still, you've already upgraded your network, but you're still having performance issues. These are really powerful grammatical forms that when you use the visitors, you trigger a certain psychology in your website visitor. The fact is, or the truth is, also very powerful because people want to believe they're making rational decisions. In fact, we usually don't. We're sort of emotional machines that sometimes think. We're not really thinking machines that, yeah. So when you use the truth is or the fact is, it's just a powerful way to build a sentence that's persuasive to the audience. And even if you still have 100% access from anywhere, even if your services are on site. Okay, I'm going to put all these together now. I'm going to show you the secret sauce for building effective web pages, great websites. Honestly, I don't even know how to make a web page until I've gone through this process. How could you even write a page unless you have gone through this qualitative research? So the marketing person goes and talks to the client and says, when evaluating options, what was the most important thing to you? Current client tells you, security was our top priority. Scalability was number 2. Now you know how to build the page. It's not arbitrary. I'm not making it up. There's zero opinion involved here. I'm literally going to construct the page using their words in the messaging priority based on what I learned from this audience. Can you give me an example of when this was helpful to you? Oh, man, you guys really saved my bacon that one time. Great, put it in quotes. I've got a testimonial. I'm going to build it a better page, right? Is this expensive? Is it time consuming? It's not. Could you do this tomorrow? Yes, you could. Would you have a higher conversion rate? Yes, you will. What was the biggest challenge you were hoping to solve? I wanted better insights, not just more dashboards. You already have dashboards, but you're still not getting insights. Do you see that? I combined Joanna Wiebe with the qualitative research. What can you do now that you couldn't do before? Oh, I don't have to run that damn report every time. Stop running the same report again and again. How could you possibly make a web page without having gone through this research? Hey, sales team, what analogies do we use? On-site installation, it's like owning your own home. That's the language I'm going to use on the page. It's strange, right? Conversion copywriting, it's not actually writing. It's just using the language of your audience to create a page this is like I think of it as data-driven empathy. Isn't that marketing? Data-driven empathy. It's not based on opinion. It's not arbitrary. What's the biggest number we can get up to? Well, let's see. We've got 200 clients, but if you combine all the team members who use this, it's really like 14,000 people. Great. Trusted by 14,000 professionals. You can see how I'm sort of building that up. Hey, sales team, what questions are you just tired of answering? Oh, people always ask if they can cancel their contract, and I always have to explain, yes, you can cancel anytime, it's month to month, we're not locking you in. Hey, have we answered that in our marketing yet? Damn it, we haven't said that yet on our website. Isn't that the job, is to move the sales conversation into the marketing conversation? Put the most powerful sales messages onto these pages. You'll have a higher conversion rate forever after. What questions should people ask but they don't? Prospects never ask about our testing or documentation. The fact is, 80% of software installations are never fully tested. So this is how to construct a higher converting page. This is a deliverable that we produce for every project. You could do it yourselves. It's like a mini website persona, where you list out their top questions, your best answers, and your strongest evidence to support each of those answers. Now you're ready to build a page. Without this, I really don't know how to make a website. You can even build it as a user flow to plan, to guide that visitor from step to step to step through that chain. This is just a simple, generic example of a website persona. And it ends up becoming part of this page. This slide's totally overloaded, I apologize. But these are my 13 things that you can use on a B2B service page, for example, to improve your conversion rate. Short descriptive headline, quick visual credibility, keyword focus, short paragraphs, faces of your team. That's differentiation, right? You're the only people with your people. You're the only company with your people. Make sure that you've got faces on every page. I highly recommend it. They're super prominent visually. We all like to look at, faces are a really compelling format for images. Depth, detail, calls to action. Just take this slide, go look at one of your pages and count how many things that are on my little diagram here that are not on your top sales pages. There, that's better. I at least listed them for you. Much easier to look at. Okay. True story, I was in Cancun 2 days ago. Spent a few days in Mexico, been forever. My wife had a big birthday, so we went down together. You know what this is? Where is that? Recognize that? O'Hare. It connects Concourse B to Concourse C at O'Hare at the United Terminal. At one end of this terminal, there's a place you can get your shoes shined. They think I'm crazy. I'm taking their picture. This is like me taking a picture in O'Hare. Above that, there's a sign. This sign summarizes my problem with websites. What is the true story in the life of the person looking at this sign? Just look at this. Monday through Friday, they got their hours. Oh, are they open? Oh, wait. No, they're not here, but I'm going to come back at Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Said nobody ever. I'm on the other side of security. Why do I need to know what their hours are? The person's standing there or they're not. Isn't that ridiculous to put on the sign? This is like websites, right? People put stuff on websites that are irrelevant to the visitor. Shoe shine $6. Anybody price shopping at this moment? Oh, I think Terminal 2 has a $5 shoe shine. Maybe I'll go all the way out and walk all the... No, nobody ever did that. Well, if this sign said shoe shine 4 minutes... everybody would get their shoe shined, right? I would totally have done that yesterday, right? This is a much better idea. This is the problem with websites. Marketers think they know what the visitor wants without having actually researched the audience to understand. Marcus Sheridan put it well. You wrote a book now called this, I think, right? They ask, you answer. FAQ content, That's our job. That's the point of your website. Solve for X. Answer your visitors' questions. That's why they are there. Go look at your browsing history. That's why you go to websites, is to find answers to questions. Whatever traffic source you came from, if that website is unsatisfying, missing information, it's just not compelling, you're not going to take that action, right? Conversion rates are down. Next trick is to make sure that your homepage headline passes the so-called backyard barbecue test. If I met you at a backyard barbecue and I said, "Hey, Brian, what do you do?" And Brian says, "I prove the impossible wrong." What? What does that mean? Would I know what Brian does? I would not know. I'd have to ask him follow-up questions. That homepage headline just failed the backyard barbecue test. We've got the agility to plan for all futures. It's very easy to find bad websites, by the way. I could do an entire deck of this stuff. Build capability, deliver results. Wait, what do you do again? I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to I'm going to get another beer. I'll talk to you later. It's a ridiculous thing, right? People do this all the time. Pioneering a better way. Your homepage headline should simply state the business that you're in. Tell people what you do. The first question of every visitor to every website is, am I in the right place? Am I in the right place? Did you answer that? By the way, I took a bunch. Hotjar shows you how far down people scroll. I have Hotjar installed on dozens of websites. I took homepage scroll heat maps from tons of websites and made them all semi-transparent in Photoshop to create like an aggregate, like a composite B2B homepage scroll heat map. People are not scrolling. 73% of people don't scroll, they go straight to the main navigation. So it's also so this highlights the importance of having descriptive navigation labels, descriptive H1 header tag. If you want to confirm that you are passing the backyard barbecue test, for $50, I think, you can upload a screenshot of your homepage to Usability Hub. People see it for 5 seconds, and it asks a question. So if your homepage headline says, "We put people first," you'll be able to scroll down and see how confused these visitors are. They'll have no idea what you do, because you didn't tell them what you do. You just said you put people first. Homepages should not have taglines on them. That's not what the homepage is for, at least not the H1. Do it down below. Get creative, be unexpected, do it in the H2s. Leadership coaching and training for mid-level managers. What does this company do? 100% clarity. Everybody knows what it means. No confusion at all. Right? Usability Hub will confirm. Bring this to your next meeting. In a way, these tools and analytics in general, this is just like having better meetings. Go have a better meeting. Bring data to your meeting. Data versus opinion? No, opinion versus opinion, the highest paid opinion wins. Have you heard this? It's called a HIPPO, highest paid person's opinion. Opinion versus opinion, the highest paid person's opinion wins. We've all been in conference rooms, that happens all the time. Opinion versus data, the data will win. That's what, data versus data, the best data wins. Usability Hub is an important tool. Okay, social proof. I want to do social proof next. If you don't have evidence on your page, you have a pile of unsupported marketing claims. Most web pages are simply piles, scrolling piles of unsupported marketing claims. Another trick, go to any of your pages and count the number of unsupported marketing claims you made. How do you support those? With evidence, often with social proof. You can do qualitative evidence like data, but quantitative evidence like stories and emotion and testimonials are actually far more powerful. I think of this as really web pages as having two kinds of content. This is also a true story that happens to me every week. Hey, Andy, go to the store, we're out of milk. I go to the store, and I come back with milk and barbecue chips. Why? Because I have to walk past the chips to get to the milk, right? These stores are laid out for that reason. So that's what a web page needs to do. They didn't come to see the evidence, but you show them the evidence while they're there. They're scrolling to find their answer. You inject evidence and testimonials into their field of vision. So yes, you can use qualitative data. 41% increase, that's the average increase on website redesigns we've done. But the testimonial is actually far more compelling. Without question, choosing Orbit to design our website was the best decision. It's just, it tugs the heartstrings. It feels more real. It's a human thing. Every web page would be better with more testimonials. Literally, like almost, I don't think there's a limit. I used to say, make sure you've got a testimonial somewhere on your website. No, put them on every page. I once did an analysis of an Amazon page. 51% of the total pixel height is social proof. It's most of the content. I think that really anyone, you can increase your conversion rate just by adding testimonials to any page. So here's my elements of a great testimonial. The logo adds visual prominence, helps it stand out. The face adds visual prominence, helps it stand out, and makes it human, right? The company, the title, a headline, don't just make the testimonial the text. Pull out the most compelling 5 words and make it a subhead above the testimonial, because not everyone will read the whole thing. This is why Amazon makes you write a tiny review for the book, right? Because they're trying to increase the visual prominence of the most compelling part of the testimonial. Always put it in quotes. And yes, I'm an SEO, so the keyword-focused testimonial, very sneaky of me, that's both cheese and mousetrap, right? I can rank higher and convert a greater percentage of visitors into leads with the keyword-focused testimonial. I recommend against making a testimonials page, not because the page itself is bad, but because that's not a popular page on your website. If you've got a testimonials page, go look at analytics. Is that a popular page? If not, why did you put your strongest evidence on an unpopular page? Make every page a testimonial. Fill your site with social proof. It really doesn't make sense. A testimonials page is like a plate of all garnish. It's like, I don't know how to describe what it just doesn't fit, right? It's not, the best pages are like answer evidence, call to action. That's the ingredients of a high converting page. You don't expect your visitor to kind of travel around the website and put the story together themselves, which brings us to the calls to action. It's like a turbo version of like some of the best stuff I've learned in 20 years, guys. I'm so excited to be here and so happy to teach these things. I really hope this has been helpful so far. This last part, equally important. This is the money click. This is the click. The percentage of people who take this is how they get to the contact page. If that number is low, you've got a weak link in the chain. How do you create a compelling call to action? Ollie Gardner, we're unfiltered, so I probably could have just dropped the F-bomb here, but Ollie says, he's, by the way, the co-founder of Unbounce, landing page authoring tool, A/B testing tool. The first rule is to have a call to action. Please make sure these pages have calls to action. I see sites all the time. Go look at your page. Ask yourself, did it just stop? Did it just die? Did you just have a dead end at the bottom of your service page? Or did you guide visitors deeper with a path? That's the job. There's a report in analytics called user flow. Just the name is helpful. Understanding that there's a flow. If your website were a city, there'd be a highway flowing through it. Do you know what the top path is through your website? How do you control that? Right? Did you put billboards on that highway? Did you put your strongest evidence, your testimonials, that powerful video on your most popular path through your website? Everyone should know, right? You should know the top path through your website. Specificity correlates with conversion. Specificity correlates with click-through rate. So when there's lots of studies about this, just adding detail to the call to action can improve its conversion rate. Change it from create my account to create account and get started. 31% increase in conversion rates. You know how that dramatically affects an outcome for a business. What would happen if your conversion rate went up 30%? You'd be hiring next week. You'd be very busy. You do this well, you've got only 2 options. Hire or raise your prices. That's what happens. This is not uncommon at all. People are, all over the world, people are taking action on websites. This is all I want for you, is to increase the conversion rate. From get your membership to find your gym and get membership, 213% increase in click-through rate to that page. Super powerful. So I want specific calls to action, compelling calls to action. Look at verbs. It's a great way to look at any web page. Look at the verbs on that page. Look at the verbs and the links and the buttons. Learn, read, click. Those are not compelling verbs. Those are generic verbs on everybody's website. Increase, much more powerful, right? So our job here, this is the psychology of every visitor to every web page, including all of us at any given moment. None of us click or tap on anything until we have done a split-second cost-benefit calculation in social media streams, in Google search results pages, in the inbox, right? We don't click until we've done a cost-benefit calculation and decided that thing is worth clicking on, right? Or worth tapping on. So how do we improve this? This ROI calculation, your job when you create a page or a call to action is to make the return seem higher or the investment seem lower. Make the benefit seem higher or make the cost seem lower. Examples, schedule a call with a conversion expert. That sounds easy. I'm not spending money, I'm just scheduling a call. Sounds specific, right? Or make it sound valuable. Increase leads without increasing traffic. Sounds valuable. I'm clearly just making these up in like one of those online button generators. Anyone can do this. We could do this together for any of you in minutes, right? You can just write a call to action that makes the thing seem easier or makes the benefit seem greater. Contact us is not a call to action. That's just not, I'm not impressed. You're not likely to see a conversion rate. Go look at the navigation summary report in analytics to see the click-through rate from that button and tell me if it's driving traffic. driving click-throughs. So it should be either do this valuable thing or do this easy thing. That is a way to get greater value from every visitor to your website forever after, without doing a better job in email marketing and social media or in search optimization, without running more ads, the same amount of traffic just by doing those things. Download ebook? Boring. Download now and solve all your problems today. Okay, I'm seriously just making up these buttons in a button generator. Download instantly and start reading now. Look, the cost is lower. Download instantly. There's no delay. I don't have to wait, right? Your designers might not like that you want to use like 6 words in your calls to action. Tell them to get over it. You're testing it. You can measure the impact before and after. So contact us? No. Get in touch and start improving your click-through rates. Or talk to an expert about your button text. Just talk to an expert. Schedule a call. Chat with a pro. These things are working really well all the time. If you haven't done them yet, you're almost a step behind because a lot of people have kind of figured this out. Last, I want to show you guys how to grow your list. Traffic, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Clubhouse, whoever, they do not want to send you free traffic. They're not in the business to send us free traffic. Email list growth is magical because it's the one source of traffic where there's not big tech in between you and your audience, right? Email marketing is disintermediation. You no longer have to try to work with a massive tech monopoly to get traffic, right? So email marketing is like a magical thing that we're all sort of obsessed with because it's the one tool that you have to talk to your audience directly. So how do we grow the email list? Same thing. Specificity correlates with conversion. Look at this one. That's not a joke slide. That's a massive senior living company. Brookdale, they're huge. And they did this. They did this. Like, this is little companies can beat the big guys with just basic fundamentals. Stay up to date, email address, subscribe. What are you going to give me? What am I signing up for? Why would I do that? You shouldn't look at the thing you want the visitor to do and say, wow, that'd be weird if they did that. The desired outcome for you on your website, you shouldn't look at that and say, that would be strange if someone signed up for that. Why would they? It's super weird, right? Yet you see it every day. You see it all the time. The formula for creating a higher conversion rate sign-up call to action looks like this. It's to do the content marketing mission statement first, which we all learned from Joe Polizzi, Content Marketing Institute. Talked about this from the beginning. Everything I'm showing you now I've learned from Joe. This is the template for creating a high converting call to action by starting with a content mission statement. Your content is where audience X gets information Y for benefit Z. Audience X, information Y, benefit Z. And by your content, I mean all of it, every social media post, every email you send, every video, every event, every podcast, every article, every page. Audience, this is your potential buyer, but also a much larger audience. We're talking about content marketing here. I've never seen a content mission statement that didn't include at least some of these words. Tips, advice, insights, strategies, checklists, stories, common for nonprofits, ideas, inspiration, research, reports. Research is the most powerful format for content in my experience, from what I've discovered. News and trends, very difficult. Not recommended. Try to build a newsroom. That takes a lot of resources. I recommend staying away from actually trying to become a news source. And then the benefit Z, document it, write it down. Why should they care? Why they would click, why they'd visit, why they'd listen, read, share, why they would pay any attention, why they'd ever come back, right? So in our world, this is mine. We are where who? Digital marketers. Find what? Practical advice on content analytics and web design. For what benefit? Why would you care? Why would you even go to this website? Because you want to get better results from your site. Audience X, information Y, benefit Z. People that do this are statistically, according to the CMI survey every year, more likely to report success in digital marketing. From that one step, write your mission statement, right? According to Hinge Marketing, found the same result. You're 3 times more likely to succeed if you just document that content mission statement. So everyone does it, right? Nope. Only 28% of us have done it. Why not? It's not expensive or time consuming. I do it with friends at bars. I like to pair it with a red wine. Just open a bottle of wine. If you enjoy marketing, you'd like this, right? Get a beer and a napkin and document your content mission statement. It's not a dotted line why this correlates with success. It is a straight direct line because you can simply repurpose it to be your call to action to subscribe. That information why? Our website is where you find practical advice on content analytics and web design, literally becomes the call to action to subscribe. This is what you'll get if you type your email address into this little box. This is how to write a high-converting email sign-up call to action, how to build a conversion-optimized sign-up box, and turn visitors into subscribers, therefore decoupling your destiny from Google, Facebook, Twitter, and whatever other big tech companies in between you and your audience. So that's why you would do it. So here I'm going to actually show you the 3 Ps that go into high-converting email sign-ups. They are prominence, promise, and proof. Prominence, it might be big. It might be at the top. It might be a pop-up. It might be a sticky footer. It might be inside the content area. Promise, tell them what they're going to get or don't expect them to take any action. Tell them what they're going to get, or else why would they do that? Why would anybody do anything if they don't know what? Why would I give you my email address unless you tell me what I'm going to get, maybe even the frequency of it, right? And then proof, evidence, social proof that other people have done it. If you don't have 1,000 email subscribers, you can just maybe get a quote from that one email subscriber. It's probably your mom. Send me a quick quote. I'm going to use that on my website. And so those are the 3 Ps of high converting email sign-up boxes. And you see it done well all the time. You also see it done badly all the time. And by the way, we're at a social media event here. I think that also makes a great social media profile tip. What is the follow button but a call to action? Why would someone follow you? What are you going to drop into my social stream if I click that button? Is your social media bio just an about us? That doesn't tell them what they're going to get. That's you talking about yourself. That's like a we love us. That's not compelling. But if you tell them what they're going to get should they follow you, you can expect faster list growth, right? In this example here, I've got instead of backup recovery, cloud mobility, helping people, blah, 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 instead I change it to a specific CTA adapted from my commission statement, how-to resources, tips from security experts, practical guides on how to protect your systems and bounce back if you get hit. Now I know why I would subscribe. Now I've got a reason to take that action. Faster follower growth, if that's an important goal of yours. So in the end, wrapping up, in conclusion, there's a presentation tip, by the way. Everyone wakes up as soon as you use the words in conclusion. Do you know about this? It's called the serial position effect. There's 2 cognitive biases that combine, tangent. Primacy is the cognitive bias that causes us to pay close attention and remember things at the beginning. Recency is the cognitive bias that, where your brain is more likely to, attention and retention are higher at the end. It's the middle that's the hard part. I probably should have thrown some joke slides and videos in here. This is short form if I had more time. Anyway, as soon as you say in conclusion, everyone realizes like, oh, that's the end. Hold on, I got to wake up and pay attention. What's missing from your website? If you don't have answers, your site is just unsatisfying. You should expect a lower conversion rate. If you don't have evidence, it's just a pile of unsupported marketing claims. You shouldn't expect a high conversion rate. And if you don't have a CTA, it's not compelling, not going to work. What is an FAQ page except important answers out of context? Don't make it FAQ page. Make every page, fill every page with important answers to the frequently asked questions. That's what web design is. It's creating a visual hierarchy, right? Controlling the eye. It's one big Jedi mind trick that aligns with the messaging priority, what's important to them, and inject evidence into their field of vision with a specific call to action. FAQ pages are just and it's a weird navigation label. FAQ? Oh, here's some stuff that you probably need in a pile over there. Why wouldn't you put that on the page that I'm on, right? That's the job of the page, is to anticipate my information needs. And what is a testimonials page but important evidence out of context? Oh, so I'm supposed to see what you do over here, then I'll go to the FAQ page to find out if you can do it for me, then I'll go to the testimonials page to see if you do it well. Not going to work out well for you. Not a great idea, right? So in the end, really, now here's birth of a lead. This is a video of real-time analytics. There's a visitor on the About page here, let me start it over. This is legit, okay? I actually captured the moment that a lead was born in real-time analytics, and I want to show it to you now because this happens all over. There's people on your websites now. My whole point, my goal, my hope for you all today is that this happens more often for you. This is just what it looks like. All these visitors are on blog posts except there's a visitor on the web design page, okay? They just went to the About page. Maybe they want to know what we believe. They want to feel close to the brand. They want to see if there's real people that work here. They're sitting on the About page. Okay, now they're on the Contact page. You see number 8? There's a visitor on the Contact page. I'm watching them recording this with Camtasia, right? It's like a screencast video of the moment a lead is born, and I'm dying watching this. I'm like, Contact doesn't take that long to figure out. Come on, you've got like autocomplete. What's happening? What are you doing? What didn't I give you? What question didn't I answer? What evidence didn't I provide? And there it is. That's it. That was the moment where the lead was born. That's lead generation in real time. Happens all day, every day. I hope it all happens for you. I think that was the... I took out the kid pic. I really should have left that in. It didn't take much time. I had like pictures of my babies because birth of a lead. I wrote a book about this. It's the Illustrated Handbook for Content Marketing. It's called Content Chemistry. You can find it where you find books. This was super fun. I'm so glad. Thank you, Jessica, for making this all happen for all of us again. Huge pleasure. Thank you, guys.